alphabet. Combination of strings or collection of strings over alphabet. It is called as languages. And we have given some of the examples for the languages. Right? Language consisting of A's and B's, where string length is less than 3, or language of consisting of A's and B's, where number of A's are even or number of A's are odd. Okay, something like that we can define for a language. Now, some of the functions let us study today. Okay, theoretical topic. Later, last 15 minutes, we will discuss some problems. Fine. On languages, we have basic set functions, set theory functions, namely union, intersection, difference, and complement. What do you mean by union? Union means the resultant language consists of the strings belonging to language 1 as well as language 2. For example, if we have language 1 as a even number of A's and language 2 as odd number of A's, then union of two languages L1 and L2 may contain either odd number of A's or even number of A's. Some other examples I will show you in the next slide. Intersection. Intersection means the resultant language consists of the strings belonging to both the languages. If L1 as well as L2 contains some string, then only resultant language contains those strings. If only L1 is having some string, then in the resultant language, we don't have that. Okay, that is the meaning of intersection. Difference, L1 minus L2. Strings belonging to the language L1, but not L2. So strings belonging to language L1 will be there in difference L1 minus L2. If I say L2 minus L1, then strings belonging to L2 but not belonging to L1. Complement is something like negation of L1. If L1 contains even number of A's, then negation of L1 contains even odd number of A's. If L1 is even, then negation is odd, otherwise vice versa. Then some other two functions, they are called as concatenation and clean star. Concatenation of strings we have studied. If S1 and S2 are the strings, then concatenation of S1 and S2 means it is S1, S2. If S1 is VCET, S2 is Puttur, then S1, S2 is VCET, Puttur. Similarly, we can concatenate languages as well. If L1 is one language and L2 is another language, then a resultant language, concatenation of L1 and L2 indicates a string from L1 is concatenated with string from L2. Okay, we will see some examples. Okay, here, this is a textbook example. Sigma is equal to A comma B. So sigma alphabet, our alphabet set contains two characters A and B. Let L1 is equal to strings with the even number of A's. Students, please note it doesn't mean that strings may not contain B. That's why example I wrote here. Strings with even number of A's means whatever may be the number of B's, wherever we can have, no problem. But even number of A's must be there. Okay, if it is there, if A is there, then even number. 2 A's, 4 A's, or 2A, 1B, or BAA, or AB, AB. Okay, something like that. Okay, got it? Definition of L1, strings with even number of A's. There is no condition for B's. Then what is L2? Try to define L2. L2 is strings with no B's. Okay, clear now? Strings with no B's mean including epsilon, all A's, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, like that. Okay, please try to understand the language definition. L1 means strings with even number of A's, B's doesn't matter, we can have B. Then L2 means strings with no B, only A's, all combination of A's. Okay, now let us define different set functions. L1 union L2, our first set theory function union. So we can write the example as well, but in terms of description, we can write like this. L1 union L2 means strings with the even number of A's with B, or strings with no B's. So all strings of A's means this one, no B's. Okay, all strings of A's plus strings that contain B's and an even number of A's. So the second part is for the first one, strings with even number of A's, and this part, all strings with just A's, means for L2. Okay, you can write like this: strings that contain B's and an even number of A's plus all strings of just A's. Got it? L1 union L2. For simply, I will take this example. L1 is A comma B, L2 is C comma D. L1 union L2 means A, B, C as well as D. You can make combinations as well. Okay, I think you understood. Intersection, because set theory you have studied from the primary class itself, no? So same thing, there we are considering sets like A, B, C, etc. Here languages L1, L2, something like that. Intersection means what? Intersection of L1 and L2. L1 contains strings with the even number of A's. Okay, means these we can have. L2 is strings with no B's. That means only A's. So in the intersection, we have only A's. B's we can't have because in L2 we don't have any B. Okay, in L1 we can have B or we cannot have B. Okay, so this may contain A, only A's also, and L2 also contains only A. So intersection means epsilon AA. Here also we can have epsilon, strings with even number of A's. Even 0 means even number. Okay, so just epsilon we can have. So epsilon AA, 4A, 6A, like that. That is the intersection. Response, students, understood union and intersection?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now minus means difference. L2 minus L1. You know the definition of L2 as well as L1. So L2 minus L1 means strings of L2, but they should not present in L1. L2 minus L1. So in L1 we have even number of A's, isn't it? So L2 minus L1 means just odd number of A's, 1A, 3A, 5A, etc. And B's we cannot have because in L2 we don't have any B. Strings belonging to L2 except L1. Okay. Fine now, only odd number of A's we can have. What about last one? Complement. Complement of, this is the symbol. Okay. Complement of L2 minus L1. So in the description form we can write, means what? Complement of previous one, L2 minus L1. Okay, any complement you can take just for understanding purpose. We took complement of just the previous one, complement of just L1, complement of just L2 also we can have. Okay, fine. Understood now? Complement of L1 means strings with the odd number of A's. Is there any difficulty to understand? If I say simply complement of L1 means strings with odd number of A's. Clear? Similarly, here just complement of L2 minus L1 means strings with at least one B. Why we have to include this statement? Because L2 minus L1 is not having any B. So its complement contains strings with at least one B as well as, okay, so union means or strings with an even number of A's. Okay, strings with at least one B as well as strings with an even number of A's. That is the definition for complement of L2 minus L1 for this example. L1, L2, as per our definition, L1 is like this and L2 is like this. So as per our definition, complement of L2 minus L1 means like this. Strings have with at least one B as well as strings with even number of A's, because here we have odd number of A's. So its negation means even number. Here we don't have any B's. So complement contains strings with at least one B. Is it clear? Functions
Yes,
on languages. Okay. Set theory functions over. Now two special functions we have mentioned no in this slide. Here concatenation and clean star. Let us discuss what is concatenation and what is clean star. Concatenation, I think it is easy to understand now because concatenation of strings you already know. So this is the formal definition. L1, L2 concatenation L1 and concatenation of L1 and L2 is equal to string W. There exists S belongs to L1. Okay, now consider two strings on L1 as well as L2. String S is belonging to L1, string T is belonging to L2. Then W is given by SP. S is for L1, T is for L2. Okay. Directly we'll see the example. L1 is given by cat and dog. Okay, instead of taking A, B, etc., we will take animal names, cat and dog. Here L2 to push name apple and mango. So concatenation of L1, L2, it is given by first consider first element of L1, that is cat. It is concatenated with the first element of L2, cat apple. Then first element of L1 concatenated with second element of L2. So cat mango. Next dog. Dog apple. Okay, like this. Dog apple and dog mango. So here we have taken just one element from L1 and one element from L2. There is no restriction. Okay. We can take here, okay, for this example, we'll consider just one of cat concatenated with apple, cat concatenated with mango, dog with the apple and dog with the mango. Okay, complex example, I think in the next slide I have, okay, I will show you. Here L2 minus L2 concatenated with the L1 means apple cat. Why? First element of L2 is apple, first element of L1 is cat. So apple cat, apple dog, mango cat and mango dog. This is concatenation. Now there are two important points. Identity for concatenation. Epsilon is the identity for concatenation. That means if you concatenate epsilon for a language at the end or from the beginning, it remains the same. That is L only. Like 0 is the identity for addition and 1 is the identity for multiplication. Product or sum doesn't change, right? So here also epsilon is the identity for concatenation. Similarly, one more thing, pi. Pi, what is pi? It is empty language. Language consisting of nothing. Okay, so it is called a 0 for concatenation. Pi is a 0 for concatenation. That means similar way, like the previous case, pi is equal to L concatenated with pi or pi is concatenated with L. The answer is pi only. Okay, please remember it's not L. For epsilon, we can say that it is L, but for pi, it is pi only, means 0. These are the two important points with respect to concatenation. There is one small theorem better to remember. L1 and L2 are the two languages. Then L1 L2 reverse is given by L2 reverse L1 reverse. One theorem we have already proved, this one, theorem 2.1, that is about concatenation of strings. Concatenation as well as reverse of the strings, right? In the first class. Okay, now here, how do we apply the same concept for the concatenation as well as reverse of languages? Let X and Y are the two strings. Okay, then for all X, for all Y, XY reverse is given by Y reverse, X reverse. This is the definition or this is the theorem of 2.1. So we will make use of theorem here, but that is nothing but the definition of concatenation as well as reverse. XY reverse is given by Y reverse and X reverse. Let this is line 1. Okay, this is our line 1. Now L1 L2 reverse. So we'll consider this one now. L1 L2 reverse, which is equal to, how to define? XY reverse, where X belongs to L1 and Y belongs to L2. From where did we get this one? from definition of concatenation of languages. See, L1 and L2 are the languages. So let us define L1, L2. It is concatenation. L1, L2 means XY. Okay, it's the reverse. So reverse, language reverse and string reverse. Its reverse is given by X belonging to L1 and Y belonging to L2. So what is this? What is XY reverse? XY reverse is nothing but this. Y reverse and X reverse. So the same thing we will write Y reverse, X reverse, where X belongs to L1 and Y belongs to L2. Same statements. Okay, lines 1 and 2. Line 1, that is theorem, XY reverse, and line 2 means Y reverse X. Sorry, line 1 is theorem and line 2 is definition. This is line 2. Now, what is Y reverse and X reverse? Y is a string of language 1. So I will write L2. Sorry, L2. No, Y is a string for L2. So I will write L2 and reverse. X is a string of language L1. So I will write L1. So we got L2 reverse and L1 reverse. L1, L2 whole reverse is given by like this. And students, please make a note here. Only we are substituting the theorem as well as the definition. Here, theorem 2.1 is the definition and definition of concatenation of languages. Only substitution. Okay, clear. Now, another important thing, clean star. The star operation is also called as clean star. Name of the scientist who invented this particular operation. So it is called as clean star. What is star? Anyone? Star operation, I told you in the last class. Respond, anyone? How many occurrences?
Repetition.
Duplication. How many times? 0 or more. Okay, infinite times, but including 0. 0 or more. Occurrence of 0 or more is called as star operation. So, L star. How to define L star? Language consisting of 0 or more concatenations of strings from L. It is called as clean star. Formal definition. L star is given by epsilon. This is very important. Clean star operation always contains epsilon. One epsilon union W belongs to sigma star. What is W? W1, W2 up to Wk, where subscript k is greater than or equal to 1, as well as W1, W2, etc. belongs to L. That's why I told you in the previous example, dog, cat concatenation example. See, in the on that example, we have taken only once. Remember, no? Cat, apple, dog, mango, like that. Here, star operation means any number of times you can consider. Cat concatenated with the cat itself. Cat, 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 many times, 0 or more. It is concatenated with the L2 as well. Dog, dog, dog. 3 times cat, 3 times dog, or cat, dog, cat, dog. Okay, something like that is the same example. Once again listed over here. Just L. Now consider just L. L is given by dog, cat, and fish. It's a star. We can list like this. Epsilon, just one dog, cat, fish. Then dog 2 times, dog, cat, or dog, cat, fish. Or see here, fish, cat, fish, and here fish 2 times dog, 2 times once again fish, once again cat, and then you can see dot dot dot. That means infinite number of strings can be formed using these 3 components or the elements. Okay, now there is a problem for you. Do you have a notebook and pen with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. This is the problem, example problem. L1 is given by A star. Okay, L1 is given by A star and L2 is given by B star. Write down this. L1 is A star and L2 is B star. What is L1 star? Anyone? L1 star?
Epsilon,
Epsilon,
A star,
A star, don't write A star. Now star is replaced by 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So A power 1 means you have to write just A. 1A,
2A,
continue. 2A,
3A.
3A, etc. Put dot dot dot. Clear now? Answer clear? Will
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
okay. Will you able to write L2 star? Write L2 star, epsilon, B, BB,
A, B, B,
2Bs, 3Bs, etc. Okay. Next, as continuation to this, what is L1, L2? What is L2, L1 and what is L1, L1? I have the answer. I will show you. Okay. L1 star you already wrote. It is epsilon A, etc. Similarly, L2 star is given by epsilon B, B, etc. Now, listen carefully. Okay, go through the answer. L1, L2 means first component of L1 is concatenated with first component of L2. First component is concatenated with the second component. First one is concatenated with the third component. Okay. Lines are visible, students. I am drawing some lines
Yes, ma'am.
now. Yes, okay.
yes,
First
ma'am.
component, epsilon is concatenated with BBB. Okay, so the answer is epsilon, epsilon. It is epsilon only, L1, L2. Epsilon with the B. Now we are going to use that point, students. Epsilon is concatenated with B means it is B only. So B, I will write. Next, epsilon with the BB. So 2Bs, 3Bs, etc. Next, what happens? Second component of A is L1 is concatenated with this epsilon. What will you get? A epsilon. It is A, right? Now A is concatenated with the B. A is concatenated with the BB. So as next component, it is AB and ABB. Then put dot dot dot. Similarly, third component of L1 AA is concatenated with epsilon. So I write AA. AA is concatenated with this B. So AAB. AA, this AA is concatenated with BB. This BB. So it is AABB. Then put dot dot dot. Similarly, write L2, L1. Don't copy, just use your logic. L2, L1 answer is visible here. How will you make L2, L1? Anyone? Sadakesha, can you answer me?
Just the
How
reverse
will you
process, ma'am. We take L2 and L1.
L2 and L1? First
Epsilon.
yes.
That epsilon and epsilon.
Ah,
It becomes epsilon and B
okay.
and A.
Uh,
Epsilon and A.
okay, fine. Next component is B. So B epsilon, BB epsilon. Sorry, B with epsilon, B with A, B with A, like that. Okay. What is L1, L1? Last part. L1 is concatenated with L1. So first component is epsilon. First component of L1 is again epsilon. So epsilon. So it is nothing but L1, L1 means just L1 itself. L1 star no A, like that only you will get. Clear? L1 is concatenated with the L1. Is it over, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we move further?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus operator. Star operator we have studied. What is plus operator? It is a language consisting of one or more. Okay, similar to star, but very important difference. One or more. That means there is no epsilon. At least one component must be there. Here, L plus is a language consisting of one or more concatenations of strings from L. Your L plus, if we can define L plus in this way, L concatenated with L star. L means one component, at least one component concatenated with the 0 or more. So in another way also we can write L plus is given by L star, which includes epsilon. So L star minus epsilon, if and only if epsilon is not belonging to L. Why this point? If I say a language consisting of even number of A's, even number of A's means we can have epsilon as well, 0. Okay, 0 is an even number. So we have to include that 0 in our language. We can't write L plus for such language. Is that clear, student? If 0 is a part of a language, then it is not possible to write L plus for that language. If I say a language consisting of even number of string length, even number of string length are also include 0, right? No, 0 means epsilon. So we can't write L plus. That's why this is the point. If and only if epsilon is not belonging to L. Suppose epsilon is not belonging, then we can write L plus. If you consider odd number, there is no 0, right? Odd number starts from 1. So at least one component will be there in our language. So for odd number, we can write L plus. Clear now? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one. Exercise. There are some problems. Be ready. The first one already I discussed. Once again, if you want, L is given by 1 power n, 2 power n. N is greater than 0. See, it is greater than 0 means there is no epsilon. Start from at least one character. N start with 1. 1 means 1 power 1, 2 power 1 means 1, 2. The question is the string 1 to 2 in L? Yes, what is your answer?
No.
No, because reason, can you tell me the reason?
2 to the power n.
2 to the, there are 2 2's and just 1 1.
1.
Okay, one more question I will ask. If I say 2 to 1 1, whether it is belonging to the language?
Yes.
Why yes? I repeat, 2 to 1 1. See, format is given as 1 power n is followed by 2 power n. Okay, please note, one number of ones are followed by number of twos. So, if I say 2 to 1 1, it is not belonging to the language because of the format. Okay, here, if format is not given, just number of A's and number of ones and number of twos are equal, then your answer is yes, fine. 2 to 1 1, it is also belonging to the language because number of twos and number of ones are equal. But here, in this case, the format is given. Always number of ones are followed by number of twos. So, 2 to 1 1, it is not belonging to the language L. Clear no? Yes? Respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Now do second one, second exercise. L1 is given by a power n, b power n. N is greater than 0, so we don't have epsilon. L2 is c power n. N is greater than 0. For each of the following strings, state whether or not it is an element of L1, L2. Concatenation, you can do it on your notes, L1, L2, but question is just to state whether your answer is yes or no. What about the first one? Epsilon.
No.
No, no, right? Why? Because greater than 0. Because of this reason, greater than 0, epsilon is not a part of L1, L2. A, B, B, C, C. So here, no. A, B, B, C, C. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. A, B, B, C. This is one part. A, B, B, number of A's and number of B's equal, fine. It is concatenated with the 2C, okay, fine. 2C or 3C, oh, okay, let it be 2C, okay, fine, it is there. What about this one? A, B, B, C, C, this is one part. A, B, B, this part itself
No.
false, no? False, because 1A, 2B, so entire thing is false. But this one, understand properly.
Yes.
Yes, because AABB, this is one part, L1. L1 should contain number of A's and number of B's are equal. It is concatenated with the language L2. So L2 can have 1C, 2C, 3C, 4C, etc. So 4 C's are concatenated, so that is fine. So this is belonging to the language. Where is my pen? Okay. This is belonging. Okay, understood? No. Next one problem is there. Lexicographic order. What is lexicographic order? Previous class concept. Can you be able to define lexicographic order? There are 2 points you need to remember. What is the first point? Prajwal. Not there. Lexicographic order means what? Samiksha Jain. Answer, students.
Shortest first.
Alphabetical order.
First point is string length.
Shortest first.
Okay, then shortest first, then second point alphabetical order. Okay, here L1 is given by peach, apple and cherry. L2 is given by epsilon, pie and cobbler. You have to list the elements of L1, L2 in lexicographic order. Okay, so in the first set L1, which string is having shorter length? First peach, 5 letters. Second apple also 5 letters. But cherry is having 6 letters. So out of peach and apple, which one we have to list first?
Apple.
Apple, because of alphabetical order. Okay, now apple. So apple is concatenated with epsilon. Now correct, now L1, L2 we have to write. So your answer is first just apple because it is concatenated with epsilon. So write L1, L2 is equal to L1, L2 is equal to, I'm struggling to write, try to understand, apple, I won't write, okay, apple, comma, then you have to write peach, right, 5 letters, okay, then peach, followed by cherry, because cherry is concatenated with this epsilon. What next? The elements of L1 have to be concatenated with the element of L2. L2 is having pie and cobbler. Out of these two, this is the shorter one, isn't it? So, your answer is apple pie, next one. Then peach pie, then cherry pie. Finally, apple cobbler, peach cobbler and cherry cobbler. So 3 plus 3 plus 3, 6 elements. Sorry, 9, 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 elements. This is the answer for your reference. Just verify. Am I fast?
Oh, ma'am.
Time given is enough now to note down or to think as well as to solve the problem.
Enough, ma'am.
Any doubts you have? Let me call your attendance. Answer fast. Naresh,
Present, ma'am.
Navina,
Yes, ma'am.
Nayana, Nikita,
Present, ma'am.
Nikita Rao,
Present, ma'am.
Nishant,
Yes, ma'am.
Pawan,
Yes, ma'am.
Prajwal,
Yes, ma'am.
Pramodini,
Yes, ma'am.
Pranita, Pranita Rai, Pratiksha,
Present, ma'am.
Pratiksha J.
Present, ma'am.
Next, Prithviraj, Priyanka,
Present, ma'am.
Prithvi,
Present, ma'am.
Rashmita,
Present, ma'am.
Rohit,
Present, ma'am.
Fatima, Shirin, Shreyas,
Yes, ma'am.
Sadakesha,
Yes, ma'am.
Samiksha,
Present, ma'am.
Sampath,
Yes, ma'am.
Sampath Kumar,
Yes, ma'am.
Sandeep Kumar, Sanjay,
Yes, ma'am.
Santosh,
Yes, ma'am.
Satvika,
Present, ma'am.
Sharath,
Present, ma'am.
Charvari, Charvari TV, Shivani,
Present, ma'am.
Shivani P,
Yes, ma'am.
Shravan,
Present.
Srija, Shreya,
Present, ma'am.
Shrikant,
Present, ma'am.
Smita,
Present, ma'am.
Suraj,
Present, ma'am.
Saujanya,
Yes, ma'am.
Sri Lakshmi,
Yes, ma'am.
Sudarshan,
Yes, ma'am.
Suman, Sumant Rai,
Yes, ma'am.
Abhishek,
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi,
Yes, ma'am.
Vaishnavi VB,
Yes, ma'am.
Achudha Karthik,
Yes, ma'am.
Vijay Lakshmi, Vijeta,
Present, ma'am.
Vijita,
Yes, ma'am.
Vikram,
Yes, ma'am.
Yashasvi,
Ma'am.
Akshata,
Present, ma'am.
Likit Raj,
Ma'am.
Mohammed,
Yes, ma'am.
Prithviraj,
Yes, ma'am.
Vijay Lakshmi.
Present, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Huh?
I missed the attendance.
It's okay, okay, LG. I'm hearing my voice itself sometimes. Have you solved this one? Okay, so this is end of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, let us go for chapter 3. It's very small, 3 and 4. Let me complete 3 and 4. Just a small theoretical concept. Let me complete today itself. Hierarchy, language hierarchy. You know about the hierarchy, right? Storage hierarchy with respect to computer, which is the faster one, which is the very slowest one. Okay, that is hierarchy means arrangement of devices with respect to their speed or with respect to their storage requirement. Similarly, language hierarchy means listing the languages with respect to their acceptability. So the unifying framework that we will use is the language recognition. Assume that we are given the definition of a language L. Okay, definition of language, you know, string consisting of even number, odd number, or something like that, and a string W. Okay, you are given with the string and given with the language and given with the string. Then we must answer the question, is W in L? So in the previous exercise we have seen, no, I asked you whether 1 to 2 is in L or not, isn't it? So language definition is 1 power n, 2 power n. So you are given with the language, a string is 1 to 2. You are given with the string 1 to 2. You should answer whether it is belonging to the language. Then your answer is yes. Otherwise your answer is no, isn't it? So this question is an instance of more general class that we will call decision problem. Okay. So a decision problem is simply a problem that requires a yes or no answer. If the answer is yes, and then we can say it as encoding. With an appropriate encoding, other kinds of problems that can be recalled as the problem of deciding whether a string is in a language. We will show some examples to illustrate the idea. So we will divide the examples into two categories like this. Okay, two categories in the sense, first category that generates a solution and second category that recognizes the solution. According to first category, problems that are already stated as decision problems. For this, all we need to do is to encode the inputs as strings and then define a language that contains exactly the set of inputs for which the desired answer is yes. Okay, generating the solution for the given problem. Second category, problems that are not already stated as decision problems. Decision problems means yes or no answer. These problems may require results of any type. For this, we must first reformulate the problem as a decision problem and then encode it as a language recognition task. I will give an example for you. You are given with two integers a and b. Okay, then determine the sum. Then generator means write a program to accept a and b as input and then compute the sum a plus b. Okay, generating a solution means accept a and b, read the inputs a and b and then compute the sum a plus b. But recognition of a problem, recognizer means write a program to accept a and b as well as one more variable c as input, then determine if a plus b is equal to c. One more task, whether sum is equal to the third variable c. So we usually write generators, okay? But when would an recognizer be appropriate solution? Let us discuss throughout this course. Decision problem, already I discussed with you. Decision problem which is having answer yes or no, true or false. Then what is this one? Decision procedure. It answers the decision problem. Step-by-step algorithm or procedure to have an answer for decision problem is called as decision procedure. An example, language recognition problem. Given a language L and a string W is W in L. If you are able to get answer for this question, then it is called as decision procedure. Understood, student? Now, very important in this chapter, this is only the important, very, very important. I mean, frequently asked questions in the question paper, hierarchy of languages. Okay, there are different sets of languages starting from regular languages, then comes context-free languages, then decidable, and then semi-decidable, and finally undecidable, which is not mentioned over here. So these different types of languages are recognized by some machines called as finite state machines. Okay, regular languages are the languages accepted by finite state machine, and context-free languages are the languages recognized by PDAs, push down automata, and decidable and semi-decidable languages are identified by Turing machines. I will take one example. Okay. Before that, hierarchy of languages is invented by Noam Chomsky. So it is also called as Chomsky hierarchy. Languages from simplest to complex. So a regular language is the simplest one. Undecidable and semi-decidable languages are the complex one. Okay, so from simplest to complex, regular, it is simplest language, context free, then decidable, semi-decidable. Okay, now what are regular languages and what is an FSM? Okay, just to in basics, I will explain you. You are going to solve problems on this in the next chapter, not module, just next chapter. A regular language, as I told you, it is the one that can be recognized by a finite state machine. Then you may ask me, what is finite state machine? As the name indicates, number of states are finite. Finite in the sense, we know how many states are there. Okay, there is an example, a machine. This is the machine. Okay, diagram may look like this. To accept A star, B star. What is A star, B star? Number of A's followed by number of B's. Example, AD, AADD or AAADDD. But we don't have BA. What is the reason? Students, respond. What is the reason? BA should not be accepted by the machine. The reason behind this is B is the first letter, but according to definition, A is the first letter. We have a format A, B, 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 okay, like that. It is star, A star, B star, any number of A's followed by any number of B's. Okay, don't assume that number of A's and number of B's are equal. If I have N over here, and here also n, then it is number of A's and number of B's are equal. Okay, this point you should remember. It is required for the remaining modules. Star and n, A power n and B power n means same number. Star means different number. Any number of A's can be followed by any number of B's. Okay, these are the example strings which can be acceptable by this machine A. Then here you have to identify the letters like this, like A, B, etc. We have arrow mark like this. This is called as transition. You have one arrow which is not having any symbol like this, and one loop like this. This is called as self loop. Okay, arrow originating and ending in the same circle is called as self loop. And here single circle is there, here double circle is there. Each and everything has got a meaning. Okay, each and everything. Single circle is different from double circle. Okay, now how it will work? The input to an FSM is a string. Okay, so input for this FSM may be AD or AADD, something like that, which is fed to it one character at a time. So we should feed one character at a time, like this, A, just A or B, something like that. And direction is from left to right. The FSM has a start state shown in the diagram with an unlabeled arrow leading to it. Can you tell me which is our start state? State 1 is the start state because of this arrow, unlabeled arrow. And the diagram has 0 or more number of accepting states, which will be shown in our diagram with the double circles. Accepting state 1 and 2 are the accepting states. Double circle always indicates accepting state, means when we reach that particular state, at the end, string will be accepted. The FSM starts in a start state. As each character is read, the FSM changes state based on the transition shown in the figure. If an FSM is in an accepting state after reading the last character of some input string yes, then accept yes. Otherwise, it rejects. So in our example, FSM stays in state 1 as long as it is reading A's. Clear, students? If we have only A's, I take 2 A's. So I have to start reading the input from state 1. 1A. I will move from state 1 to state 1 itself. Second A. Again, I will move from state 1 to state 1 because input A is here. If the input is A, you have to stay back. And input is over. I took input AA, it is over. I am in state 1 itself. So string AA will be accepted. If I take AAB, after 2A, I will move from state 1 to state 2. Correct? But 2 is also accepting state, so it will be accepted. If I have the input A, B, A, what happens? Where I will be at the end? Anyone? A, B, A. Traverse the string A, B, A. To where I will reach? State number? Anyone? Are you hearing? Students, are you following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me where I will reach after reading ABA?
3.
State number 3. Okay, fine. State number 3, it is not designated as a final state. That means it is single circle. So when you reach state number 3, your input is also over. You will be stuck. Correct? No? From state 3, you cannot reach state 1 or state 2. In that case, your string will be rejected. It is correct. You have to reject the string. Machine has to reject the string because it is not belonging to the language. Finally, one more A is there, no? So according to the format, A's are followed by B. After that, no A's. So string will be rejected. So this is about FSM. So the language consisting of, language, strings of the language accepted by finite state machines are called as strings of regular language. So we will discuss more detail in the next chapter. How to construct this and all. I don't know, it is a problematic subject. So problems are like this only. Design FSM for so and so. Problem statement will be given. We have to design this diagram. Now, second category, context-free language. What is context-free language? It is a language recognized by another machine called as PDA. Full form of PDA is push down automata. Push, as the name indicates, it will make use of stack. Okay, main drawback of this previous FSM is that this will recognize any number of A's followed by any number of B's, but it will not recognize properly for A power n and B power n. What is the reason? It is not possible to keep previous input. Correct now? We are keep on reading the input from left to right, but there is no way to count the number of A's. If we don't have the count, we cannot say whether it is belonging to the language or not. If I give A power n, B power n problem, then number of A's and number of B's must be equal. But this diagram will accept any number of A's. If I give 2A, 3B, it will accept. If I give 2A, 2B, also accepted. But A power n, B power n problem, 2A, 3B must not be accepted. So to avoid that problem, we have advanced machine called as push down automata. So the main logic behind this is, whenever we have input A, it is pushed onto the stack. Okay. If input is A, push it onto the stack. Whenever you have B, if I consider A, B, B, first input is A, I will push A onto the stack. Second input is A, I will push second A onto the stack. If the input is B, I will pop A from the stack. Next input is also B. I will pop another A from the stack. Input is at the end, and at the end, I don't have anything on the stack. Stack is empty. So in this way, I can say that AABB is belonging to this language. But we have to make use of concept stack. This is called as push-down automata. So the language belonging to push-down automata are called as context-free languages. I think in the third module, let us discuss. Okay, I will not explain what are the three components of this push-down automata and all. Later, in detail, we will discuss. The logic behind this push-down automata is making use of stack. Clear now? Student respond. Is it clear? Just basic concept of PDA. What is PDA? You need to understand. That is enough now. FSM and PDA difference. Here stack concept is required, and it is mainly used for keeping track of previous input, number of A's, that is count. Okay. One more machine called as Turing machine. In the last module or half of the fourth module, we will discuss Turing machine. Turing machine is the one which is used to recognize semi-decidable and decidable language. One more important thing behind this Turing machine is we have a read-write head which can move from left to right as well as from right to left. In previous two machines, PDA and FSM, we don't have read-write head concept and we can't move right to left. Input can be read from left to right for all three machines. Okay. But if read-write head, if we are able to use read-write head, then we can move from right to left also. So these machines are especially used for recognizing decidable and semi-decidable language. So finite state machines and push-down automata are guaranteed to halt. Okay, at the end, we will be in some state, maybe accepting state or rejecting state. They must do so when they run out of the input. Turing machines, on the other hand, carry no such guarantee. Okay, halting may be there or may not be there. The input simply sits on the tape. Here, this is the indication for the tape, magnetic tape maybe. A Turing machine may move back and forth across its input many times. It may move back and forth forever, or it may simply move in one direction of the input onto the blank tape and keep going forever. Because of its flexibility in using its tape to record this computation, the Turing machine is a more powerful model than either the FSM or the PDA. However, we work with Turing machines, we must be aware of the fact that they cannot be guaranteed to halt. And unfortunately, we can prove that there exists no algorithm that can examine a Turing machine and tell whether or not it will halt. So this fundamental result about the limits of computation is known as undecidability of the halting problem. So here we have two types of the languages, decidable and semi-decidable. The last point I am going to discuss today. Decidable language is the one that is recognized by the Turing machine, which halts on all input strings. The point will be clear when we discuss Turing machine. Okay, but remember the definition like this: which halts on all input, it is decidable, and it is semi-decidable, which is recognized by the Turing machine itself, halts on all input strings which are in the language, but may loop infinitely on some strings which are not in the language, may halt or may not halt. Okay, fine students, let us stop today. Computation, chapter 4 will be discussed in the next class. Any doubts? Respond. Any doubts?
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, let us meet on next class Tuesday. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.